And here we go.
Perfect timing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast, episode 2, with myself, Zade, and Ricky. How's it going, man?
Look, it's going. Listen. It's been a bit of a couple of weeks, but on the whole, it's going good. How are
Yeah,
you doing?
yeah, great. I've been busy, but things are going well.
Yeah.
What's been up with a couple of weeks with you?
Oh, look, I don't want to be too much of a downer, but so my dog died.
Oh, dude.
Um, and yeah, so for a few days, everything just stopped. And I'm in the process of kind of getting back into the grind. But I think it's resulted in, well, it's given me the opportunity to maybe rejig some things and drop some things that weren't as valuable for me to spend my time on, if that makes
Right.
sense. Um, but yeah, on the whole, Preparation H feels good, and we're getting back into it.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, man, but glad you're
Yeah, thanks.
coming out of it. And
Yeah,
how about Squadrons? On a lighter note.
Squadrons is yeah. Look, also I wouldn't mind talking about the Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda, perhaps.
Mm, that's right. It feels like so long ago, but it was really
Yeah,
last week.
yeah. Before we begin, I just want to say hi to Mortimer and throw in a thank you to Scringle for the sub.
Yo, there you go.
Just out of nowhere before the stream. So thank you for that. Okay, so what would you like to start with?
Let's do Squadrons because I really
Okay,
am interested in hear your thoughts on it. So for people
all
who
right.
don't know,
Well, I'll,
it's the new Star Wars game, the
mhm,
Space Combat,
mhm.
Space Combat game.
Yep, competitive 5v5 space combat at its finest. So you told me that you haven't played it, but you've seen some videos. What's your opinion of it from what you've seen?
It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's been pretty well made, but there's nothing about it that's really like I haven't bought it for a reason, right? Like I could have bought it, but I don't know. It just like hasn't really grabbed me.
Hmm.
But it looks like cool and it looks well made and high quality, and everyone I've heard or and talked to say it's pretty good, but no one's telling me it's a must play or
Yeah.
why I shouldn't be playing Flight Simulator.
Hmm. Yeah. So I can see why you feel that way, and I do agree. It's a little bit of a situation whereby like I can't really put my finger on what it is that's missing. I mean, I can, but you know what I mean. It's like you play and it's like this is good, but why is it not amazing?
Mm,
Um, I think it's safe.
right.
It's very good, but it's safe. Um, I'm actually blown away that I don't hate the flight model.
Yeah.
I did a video on the flight model a couple weeks ago and speculated that there wasn't going to be any strafing, and there's not.
Mm,
We don't really see that in the Star Wars movies. And I usually hate flight models that aren't full 6 degrees of freedom.
yeah.
For some reason, I don't hate this. It kind of works.
So
It's
it
all
kind of
yeah.
flies like you're like flying like a jet plane in an atmosphere kind of thing. Like you can't like
Yeah,
keep going forward but spin around and shoot behind you
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
absolutely. But I think the projectiles move slow enough that like it's really not. You got to work for it. Like it's hard, but it's not impossible to dodge things.
Mm,
Like if you were playing Elite Dangerous without the ability to strafe, you'd be dead in a second.
mm.
But you can get away with it in Star Wars Squadrons. I think the biggest thing it's missing is progression. It's got like you unlock cosmetics, but nothing is really that amazing.
Right.
And and yeah, you can unlock loadouts and whatnot, and that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's really good, but it doesn't give people enough of a reason to keep playing beyond the point at which they're like, well, I've seen everything.
Right. And I guess because it's competitive, there's not a lot of most of that the upgrades and unlocks probably because I mean like I presume there's a ton of like Are there like different weapons on ships and stuff like that?
There
Or
is.
okay,
So you got access to all the ships straight off the bat. You can fly whatever you want,
okay.
but you can change your loadouts, and there does seem to be meaningful changes there. They're not. I wouldn't call them upgrades. They're side grades. It's like customizing how you want to fly. So you can make your ship lighter. You can change out your weapon so it behaves differently. So maybe it's a more rapid fire, or it's a slower fire, but it hits harder. A slower projectile. So yeah, you can actually customize the way your ship flies and your loadout, how you play, which is really cool. But I think once you've unlocked all of that, it's like, what do you do?
Right.
That being said, I'm speculating on like 40 hours into the game when I've got 10 currently.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
So,
Have you been playing mostly multiplayer? Or have you gone to the single player at all?
I've been trying the single player. It's been slow going because I want to flex my E-peen and play on the absolute
Who doesn't?
hardest difficulty.
Sure.
You know, because like this is my jam. You know, like I said in my video, you give me a piece of plastic to waggle, and I'll listen. I'm in seventh heaven, ladies. So yeah, I've been playing on the hardest difficulty setting in the campaign, and it's not easy. I feel like it could legitimately be a very decent crash course training for multiplayer, which for me currently is easier than the single player.
Interesting. But does it feel fair, or is it just hard because of hard?
It does feel fair, yeah.
Okay,
It feels like the single player. I'm going to reference chat in a second here because we got some stuff going on. The single player just feels like just really balls to the wall pilots. They don't give you a chance.
Right. That's probably what I'm most interested in. Is if I did buy it, I'd probably play the single player, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know if I'd even touch multiplayer.
Yeah. You can also play. I think you can play AI fleet battles. It's a little ambiguous as to what's the interfaces could be better in my opinion. But just to circle back to the campaign, to the single player, it's better than I thought it would be. They're long missions and like multi-stage long missions. And like I said, they're really hard. And when you die, you go back to the checkpoint. You don't have to do the whole thing again, which is nice. But then there are also these just weird, like I think the game isn't 100% sure what it wants to be, because it presents itself as like a simmy sort of thing in certain aspects, but then it's also arcadey, and that's fine. But then like in the campaign, it's like, hey, you know, thematically, the engineer goes, hey, jump into your ship and we'll do like a pre-flight check. And I'm like, okay, like it's gonna say like waggle the joystick and press this button, press that button, and it goes, hey, press the trigger to calibrate your flight. And I'm like, what the fuck? They didn't need to put that in there. Like, just don't do that. Just be like, just get into your ship and go. Don't give me this bullshit of pre-flight check with one button, you know?
Press your trigger. Concerning to start with, to then take off.
Yeah.
Does it feel more than the space combat portion of Battlefront 2 in its own game? It does?
Yeah. I mean, there's power management. Like, it's pretty deep for what it is.
Because I did like it. I did like Battlefront 2 space.
You got to be on. There's no, like, if you find yourself just coasting along, not managing your power, or just like going in a straight line at max speed,
you're done.
You better check yourself because you're about to be swatted. You know, you gotta be doing something at all times.
Cool. Oh, this is decent. I'll consider, maybe I'll like get it on a sale or something. Or if it was on Game Pass, I would play.
Okay. Well, we got some comments here. As someone who isn't interested in Star Wars, is Squadrons still a pickup on gameplay alone? I would say if you are desperate for a competitive dogfighting game or space dogfighting game, because there's like what? War Thunder or something like that?
I've got a mate who plays War Thunder a lot.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Like people are
there's another
really
one.
into that.
Yeah, I quite like War Thunder. I've played a bit. It's pretty good.
Okay. So if you just really want to, if you, like me, if you were really into CQC and Elite Dangerous, if you just want to be in a little spaceship fighting other little spaceships, I think it could be enough. It's very polished. It's good. It's good. My only concern is, will people love it in 30, 40 hours?
Mm.
Haven't watched all the Star Wars, but I'm interested in the games. It feels like, and I think this was intentional. I think they talked about it in some trailers or interview dev diaries or whatnot. I think they're trying to recapture some of the old X-Wing games a little bit, but with that, the modern competitive multiplayer angle thrown onto it.
I gotta say, I wouldn't have minded a different setting. Kind of over this like original trilogy plus kind of setting.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all we've been in for so long. Like we had obviously the new movie trilogy, which is
Yep.
pretty much that setting. We've had like this, and we had the Mandalorian, which I know is not, yeah, but it feels like it. I really, what I'm trying to say is I want a prequel game.
That would be cool. I would like to
I want to
see
fly like
a prequel expansion.
yeah, I want to fly like Arc 170s and stuff, like Vulture droids. I'm kind of over
Yeah.
X-wings.
Yeah, I was never
like,
controversial opinion. Never really been a big fan of X-wings as a ship.
Neither, to be honest. Neither, not really.
I'm a TIE fighter boy.
I never liked either. I really liked the TIE Phantoms. I can't remember if they were just made for Star Wars: Empire at War or not, but they look sick.
TIE Phantom, cool. Jackal Zero says, would you consider Star Wars to be a dated sci-fi after so many years? I don't think this is what you mean, but it's dated in the sense that it's retro futuristic, which is my jam. But I think I know what you mean. It's got, Star Wars is really interesting in that it's somehow managed to embrace its datedness and harness it as its signature style, Like the Rebels are just straight like 70s dudes with handlebar mustaches. Like they are. It's 70s vests and shit. It's, if you take it out of context, it's just like, this is just some asshole at a bar. But you put it in Star Wars, like it's like, oh yeah, shit, this is my jam, there's something magical and salacious and demonic about Star Wars that it just manages to blind us and make us not care about all its bullshit.
It's pretty well said. I would agree. I'd agree for the most part. I think Star Wars is. I feel very much that games, especially, they feel too afraid to do new things, too afraid to distance themselves from the movies, either in the setting or like we got to throw in like a little Luke Skywalker cameo, they just can't resist, like
yeah.
I know it's hard. I just really wish kind of move on and just do something new, like, and even like Jedi Fallen Order was really good, but it's like,
yeah,
try something else. Just, like it doesn't,
yeah.
Like it's like it doesn't have to be connected to be good, right? Just make a good game and have it set in the universe, like Knights of the Old Republic, perfect example. You're away laughing.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Fallen Order is, just as a video game standpoint, is better than Squadrons.
Yeah.
But in terms of its presentation, I mean, yeah, of course it's a completely different style of game, so it's really not fair to compare. But just as like a final product within the Star Wars universe, but Squadrons is unique. There's nothing else.
Yeah, no, you're right.
There's nothing else like it's yeah. If you need that gameplay style,
and if you just like space games, it's like Like if you want to play a space game right now, it's like, okay, will you play like Elite or you play like X? There's like nothing like they're all like life dedicated games. You can't just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sit down for an hour and chill in a space game right now. Not really.
You can't.
Especially
Yeah,
space
we're in
combat.
Squadrons. You can like if you
Or
just
you
have
can.
15 minutes, you can just jump into a quick match.
It's not like, you know, 15 minutes. I'm just gonna have a quick game of like X4. Like you just
Yeah, yeah, right,
just
buddy.
gonna update my trade routes real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 12 hours later, deep into the night.
The tier that brings up a good argument in the chat. Lego Star Wars is POG. New one looks good.
Oh, okay.
I have seen that they're remaking like the entire Skywalker saga in Lego Star Wars. Like, and I'm pretty sure they're remaking the
Oh,
whole thing. So, like, even though there has already been two Lego Star Wars, or more probably, making I think the whole saga in one game. Pretty cool.
okay. I have to admit something here.
You never played Lego Star Wars?
I've never played any Lego game
I haven't played any
outside
outside
of
of Lego Star Wars.
right. I rented Lego Indiana Jones,
Oh god.
and you gotta love why.
Bye. I'll buy.
Because apparently it was one of the few games that, for whatever, I don't understand how or why, but it was one of the few games that would allow you to initiate the homebrew process on a Wii. So you had to have, there was like just like 3 or 4
What?
games that could do it. Yeah, and Lego Indiana Jones was one of them. So no way in hell I was going to buy that because but yeah, so I got it from Blockbuster or Video. Everything was Video Easy because
Oh yeah,
Blockbuster had
man.
already gone
That'd
under.
be easy.
And yeah, that's why. That's the only reason I played any Lego game ever at all.
So that's forgive me for my ignorance right now. Is that like like hacking your Wii, like jailbreaking
Yeah,
your Wii? I'm assuming
yeah, and installing
Android, Linux.
sort of, yeah. So it still works as a Wii, but then you can also install other stuff and make it do other stuff.
Such as nothing incriminating.
I mean, if you were into this sort of thing, I'm not, but you know,
Of course,
if you were into
hypothetically speaking.
playing pirated games, you could do that.
Sure.
You could also like install. I mean, you could turn into a DVD player. You could turn into a Plex server. Like crappily, it didn't have the processing power for it, but you could do all that stuff. You know,
That's pretty sick. I never
yeah,
had a
it's pretty
Wii.
cool.
You know, this if you're older listening, this may surprise you. I've never had a Nintendo console before I had my Switch.
Yeah, Wii was my very first Nintendo console.
Unless you count a Game Boy.
Yeah, no, I was not a Game Boy boy.
No, really?
I was not a Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Mm.
Dude, I started with a Game Boy Advance. I had the purple see-through one. I really hope they make a Switch purple see-through controllers.
Oh,
Sick. Buy those instantly. And then Game Boy Advance SP, the flip one. I still have that somewhere.
oh, this guy.
Around here. And
My first console was the PS2.
wait, me too, actually.
There you go. There you go. See,
Well,
you merely chat merely embraced the PC. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't have a console until I was midway through high school.
yeah, I must have been probably 11 or 12. I had that's at N64. I played an N64 at a mate's place. We used to play Mario Kart, of course.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I had one of these, and then we never.
I used to love renting them from Blockbuster on special occasions.
Nice.
Like, you know, school holidays, and be like, Mom, can I rent a PlayStation or a Nintendo?
Oh,
Those were good times. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up the Star Wars here before we move on.
Yeah,
just want to touch on a couple of comments. Star Wars is a special breed of sci-fi. Hang on. Special breed of sci-fi that's more like a space opera, so I don't really compare it to stuff like Moon. I don't know. I haven't heard of Moon.
That's a If that's the movie they're referring to, I've been meaning to watch that for years. Haven't.
Oh, Moon. Yeah, I know what you. Yeah, with
If
Sam
it,
Rockwell.
yeah,
Love that movie.
I want to watch it.
And thanks for
Great
the
music.
hydrate there, Dragon Shogun. I see you. I should turn these rewards off for the podcast. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. But let's both hydrate. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's both stay healthy.
Always bring the water bottle. A
Yeah.
couple of these a day, like half a gallon or something.
Keeps the doctor away. LTTstore.com.
Yep, precisely.
Yeah, I thought so.
Can't quite see it. There you go. Backwards.
Double hydrate. The
I'm gonna say it's a
lewdness.
great water bottle. Probably the best.
Yeah?
Best I've ever spent on a water bottle. It's like
Okay.
built like a tank. Like it's solid. It's huge, and it keeps water cold.
Okay. Mine's purple though.
Yeah, I guess that's cool. Mine's
So-
gold.
Yeah, but like mine's purple. It's just interesting to think that Star Wars, for all intents and purposes, Star Wars is the same thing it was years ago. Same old X-wing, same old TIE fighters, same old Darth Vader. Not that I have anything against the original, but some new stuff would be cool. Yeah, some like I don't want to get into like a debate on the new trilogy, but we don't need to go there. Yeah. There's some. I mean, I don't even have that. So I've got apathetic opinions, but yeah, something new and good would be nice. Which is why I have an appreciation for the prequels, for all their jank. I quite like the political maneuvering aspect of it. You know, like how everything went down. Yeah.
You need to go to another desert planet. A big call. I agree. There's not enough of those.
I do like deserts. I'm a fan of Mad Max.
You really want to hear a shameful admission that I'm sure you can guess.
Sorry, say that again?
A shameful admission about Mad Max.
You've never seen Mad Max? Okay.
Any of them?
Just watch Fury Road. I mean,
yeah.
Just don't bother with the first Mad Max. It's painful at this point.
I should really watch.
Yeah, it's good.
Here's the thing, like I know it's good, and it's such like a movie that I would be into. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. Can we get some tweet spam at Zade here? To get him to watch Fury Road.
Fury Road.
When you go doing Warframe quests, I am planning to record the beginning of the quest tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow night they'll be up. Okay, shall we move on to Microsoft buys Bethesda?
Yeah, we're very late to the party on this.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone and their grandmas talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was some crazy news, eh? Where were you when you heard the news that Microsoft bought Bethesda?
I was in bed. It was a drizzly Tuesday. Yeah, that's.
You're in bed.
I don't know what I want to say. Yeah,
I was sitting in the airport, about to fly for work.
Oh, right.
I was about to board a plane. I was reading it. I'm like, whoa, crazy! It was like 7 a.m.
I love the memes that Todd Howard has sold Skyrim a final time for $7.5 billion.
He's done it.
Magnificent, the ultimate shyster. So what are you thinking vis-a-vis implications of this purchase?
Man, there's a lot to it, eh? Like, there's like the initial reaction where it's like, wow, that's pretty sick. You know? Like, Microsoft's been on a bit of a roll recently. Bethesda has not been on a roll. They have been the opposite of a roll is not moving. They've been stopped or going backwards.
On a cube.
So yeah, like I'm hopeful that kind of big Microsoft money will allow them to stop being dicks.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Because it seems like they were struggling for money, right? Like that seems like the problem. Like a lot of things with releasing games maybe early or going crazy expensive with microtransactions or whatever. Like it all seems to stem to them not having enough money or needing to bring more money in. So I'm hopeful.
Well, this could be an interesting topic to touch upon because I don't think a lot of people will have talked about this. But what do you think led to the downfall of Bethesda? What was the motivation? Because I usually like to assume positive intent.
Sure.
But what do you think?
I don't know. It's like tough because it's been going for a while slowly. Like there was like the paid mods thing 4 or 5 years ago now. That was ages ago, and people didn't like that.
Yeah.
But like that didn't really like hurt their public image, right? They were still like, you know, God King Bethesda, like herald of single player RPGs, like, you know, still delivering the goods. Fallout 4 was like pretty good. Still like,
I mean, people
really
were
long.
pogged.
Yeah.
I think until like maybe a year after, and then everyone's like, "All right, like we're allowed to be honest now."
Yeah, and I think they're just in like the huge gap between good games, I think has really hurt them.
Yeah.
Like it's been 9 years since Skyrim came out. Quite a long time.
Oof.
And we're probably still 3-4 years away.
Oh yeah.
At least.
At least.
So like
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it just seems very anti-consumer and fell off.
Yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head.
76.
Yeah. I think they either grew a little too quick, or they felt that they could grow quicker than they realistically could. They could, actually deliver. And yeah, their games take so long to make that they were just in a place where it's like, well, we've had this really big thing. We need to get the next really big thing out to capitalize on it. And they just can't, because their business model doesn't allow it. And they went into this spiral of trying to monetize shit they shouldn't have monetized. And here we are.
Yeah, and I think there's something interesting too about them. You know, I can imagine that they're sitting there in the meeting room and say, all right, our games take ages. We need something in between. And they're like, well, we had a Fallout Shelter, right? People loved it. It was pretty good game. So like, okay, let's do Elder Scrolls Shelter, kind of Blades. Too bad it sucked, and it was not good and very greedy. Like, okay, that's not ideal. And then we're like Fallout 76, different developer, sort of. You know, like I see what they want to do with doing smaller scale things and having things in between. Oh, and the card game, Elder Scrolls Legends.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't bad.
No, it was fine. But they just need the good ones.
Yeah, right. I think, you know what? This may be controversial, and I'll hedge my bets as saying it's not the issue, but part of the issue with Blades. Like, yeah, I haven't played it. I hear it's crap.
Yeah.
But I think what's a bigger issue potentially is the fact that I just had no idea it released. Like, I heard about it. I'm like, okay, they're working on it. Cool. And then like people are like, oh yeah, I've been playing Blades. It's crap. And I'm like, when did it come out?
Yeah, it's on Switch as well.
Okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, neither. Like I tried the beta probably like a year ago. I mean, over a year ago on my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like beta. And then apparently it's been out on Switch for ages. Free on Switch apparently. I mean, it's pretty cool that it's free, but like,
okay, yeah.
I don't know. No, one sec.
Yeah.
So like, they just. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because you can't just be like, okay, we need to make a good game and make it smaller and then just turn it around. Like, it takes time to do this. And obviously their main team is, otherwise occupied. Like, who makes the game? And I think that's something interesting. Is like Bethesda Publishing has actually been doing very well. Like, I mean, the studios that they own, that they own have been games like Dishonored and Arcane's making Deathloop.
Okay, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, all the Bethesda published games have actually been doing pretty good. But it's just like, mainline Bethesda.
Yeah, but that's the issue, because it's Bethesda publishing, but like, does anyone really care? They want what they care. The reason they like Bethesda is because of Bethesda games.
Yeah, I mean that's what the name people will know by the name. Say Bethesda, and you think the developer. You say Doom, you think of id. You don't Bethesda publishing.
That's right. So what would you do? Let's play armchair developer just for a hot second. If you were Bethesda, how would you fix that issue? oh shit, Skyrim was fucking enormous. It made us a shitload of money. We need to capitalize on it, but we can't wait 5 years to develop Fallout 4 or however long it took. What do you do?
And it's such a difficult question. It's like you gotta think like, okay, we need to somehow like have something that's to the level of quality and probably expansiveness that people expect, but also make it good. And to be perfectly honest, if we were sitting there in 2012 and being like, what do we do? I would probably do what they did and just release it again. I gotta be honest. It's like we've already got the game. We'll just give it some upgrades, release it on like this new like fancy Xbox One, PS4. Call it like the POG edition, then ship it, right? But maybe what they should have done is also make another expansion, but somehow to
that would
just
have been
bring in a
interesting.
bit more content, or like who were those? I can't remember what the name of the team, or is that guy? There's a couple of mods for Skyrim, those enormous ones that are basically new games.
Like Sky Oblivion and
I can't remember the name.
Enderel or
something
like that.
There's another one. So if like you commission those guys, like they bring them in.
Yeah, why not?
Be like, hey, we'll pay you to like make this, like bring it up to quality, and then boom, it's like included.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. Like, if each new release had a little more content, that justifies it. And then there wouldn't be the endless maymays of, he's releasing it on a toaster.
And I know that's the joke. I'm actually not upset about how many times they've released Skyrim. Like, it's a meme, but also, like...
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I'm...
Yeah, totally,
like,
it's better to have it on more systems than not.
Yeah.
It's just like the fact that that's all they've done.
Yeah, I get that. Like before the stream, edits in the chat was like thinking about buying Skyrim on the Switch. Convinced me not to. I'm like, I can't because I've also been thinking about it.
Oh no!
And now he's saying he's going to buy it on the PS5. Here's a question: do you think they will release Skyrim for Xbox Series X?
Yes.
Me too. Will you buy it?
No.
It'll be a Game Pass.
No. Like, all right. So, but I'm in a unique situation because I'm so incredibly burnt out on Skyrim. I'm not going to play it on PC. I'm not going to play it on anything I currently own, and I'm not going to play it on anything that I may potentially own in the future. It's not going to happen.
Fair enough. I will. Okay. I know this is a big pivot. Are you going to pick up a new console?
We'll see. If I do, it'll be maybe midway through its life cycle.
Right. Any particular so far, or?
So I'm a PlayStation boy. They got the games, they got the games I'm interested in.
Fair enough.
That being said, I cannot deny that the business model they're going for with the Xbox Series is tight.
Very, extremely.
It's the fact that it's making me go, maybe I'll get an Xbox this time around. That's huge.
Massive. We have pre-ordered a Series X.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, look, we have a Xbox One. Yeah. I already pay for Game Pass. So you can pay for Game Pass and pay an extra bit a month, like $20, to get the new Xbox, and you don't have to pay for it up front. And it's cheaper over the 2 years to do that than just to buy it. And because it comes with Xbox Live Gold, so we're like, it just makes sense, And then when Skyrim comes out on Game Pass for Xbox One X, I'll play it. Xbox Series X, sorry, stupid naming scheme. I will play it, and I'm sure it will look great.
Yeah. It's like it's friggin' tempting as hell. The only issue is then like Demon Souls, the remaster of Demon Souls is going to come out, and I'll be like, oh, wish I got the PlayStation now.
Yeah.
And Ratchet and Clank is liquid crack for me.
Think so? I could. I'm indifferent. I've never played a racing.
Yeah.
I would
Well, that's fair.
play the new Crash. I hear it's very good.
Okay. I got a love-hate relationship with Crash. It's the hardest. The original is the hardest game I've ever played, and I hate it.
They are difficult.
And I love it, and I also hate it.
Yeah, I hit on PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft Bethesda. I don't know. Like, it's also kind of scary. Not scary, but it's like this mega corp of like Microsoft Inc. that just owns like every game developer. And like, is that bad? I don't know. Probably not. Could it be? Maybe.
Let's turn our attention to Disney. I don't know. If ultimately, if it results in Bethesda pulling their socks up and maybe some games that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You know, does it really affect us in meaningful ways? I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I think I'd be a little more
happen in the next couple of years.
Yeah. I think I'd be a little more down on it if the likes of EA bought Bethesda.
Yeah. What if Microsoft bought EA?
Oh shit.
What if Microsoft bought Sony?
Oh, I can't handle that shit. That'd be wild.
Microsoft has a lot of money.
Yeah,
I think people forget how enormous Microsoft is compared to Sony.
I certainly do. Yeah.
Yeah, they're huge.
Because you think of them in terms of Windows, but they're more than that.
Yeah, they're massive.
And then, like, you got to take into account, it's not just, even if they were just Windows, it's just, you can't just think, oh, how many people are buying licenses for Windows? No, it's the licensing for all the laptops and shit.
Yeah, like OEMs. Out of control. One thing I am, and everyone's mentioned, very intrigued to see is IP, right? So like Microsoft now owns just a staggering amount of IP and studios, and like, you know, the obvious one is like they own Obsidian now. They own Bethesda now. New Vegas 2. Like, why not? Yeah. And like Obsidian announced that Avowed game at a few months ago, which was just like, hey, we're making Skyrim, but you know, we're not Bethesda.
Yeah.
But now Microsoft owns them both, so it's like, yeah,
it is most auspicious.
I think we're okay now, though.
All good.
All right, so
cool.
We've got about 15 minutes to wrap this one up. So why don't we run through our regular talking points?
Yes, let us
please
do.
I actually have on another window now.
Fantastic. And for those asking questions and making comments in chat, even if we wrap up, I will stick around to address some of that stuff, so don't even trip. Cool. Okay, so what have you been working on?
Same as I think when we did the last podcast recently. I just started my Dawn of War review. I'm full into that right now. It's turning out to be quite the endeavor. It's looking to be quite long and very in depth, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm really excited actually how the video is going to turn out. But I've been playing through the campaigns, playing skirmish, running the script. I think the script is about 3,000 words so far, and I'm probably quarter done, so it's going to be quite long. For reference, my Warhammer 2 video was half an hour, and that was about 6,000. So it's going to be long.
Wow. Okay. Does that concern you?
In a
From
way,
a performance standpoint?
Performance, honestly, not really, because I think people understand that sometimes it just takes as long as it takes.
Yeah. I mean, more from a video length standpoint.
And in that case, some sort of. Sort of. Yes and no.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, the thought I've given it is that, well, if it works out to be like 90 minutes, do I split it in half and, like, you know, put the expansions in there?
Oh yeah, okay.
And I don't know if I would. like I'm
Okay. Why
thinking
not?
as a consumer of content. Right? So I watch a
Mm.
decent amount of YouTube and like, similar kinds of videos. Um, and if I see like a big video, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like it doesn't turn me off. It's the opposite. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
they've obviously put the work in.
Yeah.
It's not just like game is good. You know, like they're actually talking about some stuff.
Kangas, bro.
Yeah. So I personally am for it.
Okay.
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
As a consumer of content, it varies. I got to be in the mood for a long video.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it goes back to the whole back end of YouTube and how the algorithm works or doesn't work, and like we actually know nothing of how it works, and that's by design.
No.
Um, but you know, I hear tell that mixing short videos with long videos is not what you want to do
Right.
for whatever reason.
I mean, I've
That
seen
would
many
that would be
long
my
videos
concern.
that have done very, very well.
Absolutely,
And of
yeah.
course, in way like, of course, there are short videos that do, and it's like,
Hmm.
it's when I think about it, it's like, okay, the videos are either going to be like 30 minutes, 2:30s, or an hour. Like, how much difference is 30 minutes to an hour? Like 30 minutes is already past like that 12-ish,
Hmm.
way past where you'd probably consider it like a long video. So
Yeah.
if you get to 30, it's like, does 60 really matter? I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like if you can come in just under the hour, even like a second under the hour, you're good.
Can you soundbite that, please? Very, very out of context. Yeah, 9:59.
Yeah, once you have that third digit in there, that third bracket of digits,
Mm.
then you know it's serious business.
Yeah, and then it's in that case that's like I kind of like that. Yeah? Like if I see a video
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
over an hour, I'm like, okay,
All right.
they're not messing
Now we're
around.
talking. When it comes to long videos, I tend to, this is not by design, but I tend to watch exclusively quite soft-spoken Englishmen doing video essays on very, very specific topics, such as like just a specific thing pertaining to one game.
Mm.
The other day, I watched this guy just tear into corporate music, which was hilarious, and I felt very strongly about it, so that was good.
Yeah, it's often like the presenter. Like I'll listen to. I can't remember. Hours of some guy just talking about like 1800s like naval battles.
Okay.
I can't remember anything about it, but
Why not? Yeah, yeah.
what about you? What have you
Here
been
we go.
working on? Sorry.
Yeah. Mortimer says, I usually save long videos for when I can make time and get mentally ready.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
do that too.
I do, and then forget where the saved video part of YouTube is.
Your watch later? You don't live out of the watch later?
No, I don't.
Wow.
I'm a horrible YouTube user. I circumvent all their systems. So the bell is wasted on me. I actually have a bookmark folder of the channels that I like to watch.
Why?
Yeah, I know. It's
It
like,
doesn't
what am
make
I
any
from the
sense.
90s? Yeah.
Like, just it does it for you. Hit the
I'm
buttons.
getting there. I'm getting there. But like,
Watch later is the greatest. I live out of watch later.
yeah, it's
I will
all
never
right there.
watch a
Like
video not in watch later.
the interface is better than it was, but I think it's just harkening back to a time when whenever I saw a video I liked, I would instantly hit subscribe without thinking that, oh, maybe I actually don't want to get notifications for this whole channel, you know? But yeah, look, it's fine now. It's fine. So yeah, what I've been working on is, well, like I said, the past week has been slow, but I am working on more Warframe videos. Um, Thinking of video ideas for Star Wars Squadrons.
Mm.
like I don't want to force it, but it's a really
No pun
unique.
intended.
Well done.
Thank you.
It's a very unique style of game that is very up my alley. So if I can do something with it, I would quite enjoy that. And getting back into streaming with, surprise, surprise, Warframe.
Yeah.
And like from taking a like maybe a 2-month hiatus on streaming, where like viewer numbers were dipping towards the end anyway, and coming in cold with Warframe and pushing 40 concurrent viewers for much of the stream.
Good.
It's a good feeling.
What's the Twitch Warframe community like? Is it big?
I can only assume. Let's hang on. You know what? Let's have a look. Let's head on over to Twitch. I don't even know how to look at categories anymore on Twitch. They've moved
It's
it.
in one of your bookmarks, I think.
Probably. Hang on. Hang on. Do we go to the dots and then it's like, so you used to click on games.
You can still click on games. I'm gonna have to do it.
About advertisers, blog developers, browse? Maybe it's browse.
Warframe. There's 1K viewers watching Warframe right now. I've noted. Oh god, we're big. Wide boy.
Don't even trip. We're coming back. I'm
orange now. It's gonna be really confusing if someone's listening to Spotify.
Which we are on
Which
now,
we are
by the
on.
way.
Yes, we are on Spotify and other music platforms such as Apple Music.
Fantastic. I absolutely use Apple Music.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. That's correct. But yeah, the general theme of Warframe seems to be like everyone's got a little slice of the pie, you know? With a lot of other games, you'll have like one guy with 2,000 viewers, someone with 500, and then you got everyone else with 5 or less. Warframe, it seems to be, you know, fairly evenly spread, which is nice to see. Everyone's got their little following, and it's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're liking it, I presume.
Yeah, there's like lots of content. It's up my alley thematically. It's fun to play, and it's got that constant progression, which
it's what keeps you coming back.
It's dopamine.
That's it. Yeah, gotta be hitting it. I understand.
Yeah. Space Ninja Pirate Wizards, exactly. It's like Iron Man had sex with a Jedi.
Good description.
We're
doubling back, but interesting question here.
Yeah.
From this is on the long video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think pairing a longer video with an edited shorter video that sums up the longer one, like a too long didn't watch, would be a good idea, or would it kill the long?
No, I think that's a great idea if you separate them by channel. If you've got a channel for long form, and then like maybe your main channel, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. Another channel that's the shorter edited one. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it, doing it on 2 channels. You know what I would hate though, is if I made let's say my longer one, let's say the long video is like, that's like 100 minutes, right? Like an hour and a half. Let's say I make like a 10-minute short one and put it on my 100 subscriber second channel. What if that one exploded and everyone's subscribing to the second channel? I'd be so pissed.
It will, yeah.
Like, no, go to the other
one. That will
one.
happen.
Go to the first channel. Like this.
Yeah.
This is the dumping ground. Okay, yeah.
That's the struggle, isn't it? Because
and you don't want to like cross-contaminate your you don't want to be fighting against yourself for views.
Yeah. A YouTube channel is a product, and we don't like to think of it this way, but it's a product with branding and market position.
Yep.
And you have to treat it that way. And that sucks.
You don't want 2 that are both owned by you that do the same thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe
you got it. I want to save this topic, like YouTube planning, for the next one.
All right.
Thank you. Jack says that's a scarily good description. Iron Man had sex with a Jedi. I can see it too.
Like the too long didn't watch Shorter Edit, a Patreon exclusive. Now we're talking.
Or the other way
Pay
around.
me money to save you time.
Yeah.
Just watch the short one.
Yeah, I think there's a way to jig that. Like the underlying structure of that is sound, and people have done that before. It's a good idea. If I could get away with recording all my streams locally, which I can't do for every stream for technical reasons, but if I could get away with doing that, I would do that more often.
Yeah,
it's good.
Specialize in one type, you pick the other. Yeah, and just have it at least as a way for people to watch your or find your stuff, and more as just a hey, like, you know, if you legitimately don't have the time, here's the
Yeah, I'd be tempted to put the shorter one, to release that almost as like a trailer or an ad for the longer one.
Yeah, like make it really shorter, like a minute or two.
Yeah.
Hey, big one's coming out in like.
Well, then you may as well just slap it on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we could talk about hours for this.
Oh God, yeah, this is a good topic for next time. I could go in depth on this.
Yep.
YouTube planning.
Yep.
It's like a puzzle, man.
It is. It's a
marketing,
puzzle that never,
business,
that never
YouTube.
Fits. There's always a few pieces
puzzle.
missing, and constantly there's some dude sitting on the corner, like swapping pieces out. What it's like.
It's true. You got Toad Howard up in the annals of the Pantheon. Just works.
All right, let's quickly jump to what else you've been playing. I want to hear what you've been playing. Apart from, well, I guess it's probably the Squadrons, right?
Yeah, honestly, I deleted Warframe off the Switch. I don't have time to play it. I don't want to install other things on it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I've just been playing Warframe, streaming it, just preparing for the very specific content that people want to see, which I'm now ready to do, and yeah, playing Squadrons. Otherwise, the closest I've come to playing anything else is just really, really craving a building logistics sort of game that I can be like, yo, I'm going to put an hour into it tonight, and then tomorrow night or the night after, I'll pick up on what something persistent, something that where I can build something I can be proud of and that works. So basically, I want to play Factorio, but then I boot up Factorio and I'm like, but then I got to go through the oil stage, and I hate that stage, and you get it. What can you do?
Start it again. You need like a city builder.
Yeah, I want a really deep sci-fi city builder with dank logistics.
That exists?
Well, Industries of Titan is in development, but the long and the short of Industries of Titan is its style over substance currently. Early access, and it looks amazing. It sounds amazing, but just waiting on features, just like basic features, you know?
I get that.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been playing?
A lot of Dawn of War, as you could probably guess. That's been the main go-to, and Hades.
Oh,
very good. I love Hades.
That's intrigued me, but I've never pulled the trigger on it.
I would recommend it. It's on Switch too.
Okay,
pretty good Switch game. I've been playing it on PC.
I think Switch is a good console for roguelites, you know?
Yeah. I think the controls lend to it as well.
Okay.
Yep, Hades, Dawn of War, and really a little bit of Modern Warfare, you know, just sprinkled in there. A lot of the shooty.
Yeah. Let me just, before we finish up, let me ask you this.
Sure.
How do you feel on an emotional level about running a gaming YouTube channel and not having time to play that many games?
Not great about it, to be honest.
Do you feel like a fraud?
No, I just I just like sit down and I'm like, man, I wish I could play more games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would feel like a fraud if my channel was about me playing a lot of games,
Yeah.
but
That's
it's not really. Like it's like
Mm,
okay, I play one game for like a month and then I make a video on it kind of thing.
yeah.
But I definitely get what you mean, and I've heard this echoed from a lot of other game reviewers or people who make video games. It's like despite doing that, you can't play many games.
You can't.
Like I have a list of games I want to play on my phone. I'll just show it to you. It's very long, and I'm
Okay.
never gonna get anywhere close to it. And it's not even that long now. To be fair, we've got like Metro Exodus, which I started playing, and
Mm.
probably only 2 hours in. Witcher 3 DLC, which I'm slowly getting through. The
Oh,
Halo
you got to
Master
do
Chief
it.
Collection. You haven't played any Halo games. Outer Wilds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Dragon Age Inquisition, Metal Gear Solid, Wolfenstein 2, Dishonored 2, Horizon. I'm like, I'm never gonna play these.
Yeah. So basically all the games. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
any good game that came out in the last 3 years.
Yeah. I gotcha. I
But it's
gotcha.
tough. It's a,
Yeah. I know what you mean. I feel it kind of feels like if I called myself a musician, but all I did was listen to music once a week. That's what I feel like a little bit.
right. I will say that's why the Switch is so good because
Yeah.
you can play it when you usually not be able to play a game. Like if I'm away for work, Switch and play Witcher 3 in the hotel, and it's great.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna do that for so many games,
You can do it for Skyrim.
and it's full circle.
You can take your Amazon Echo with you on the road.
They actually made that right.
They did, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't just a joke. Like they made it
No,
for a joke, but you could actually play it.
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have an Amazon Echo. I do have
Yeah, neither do
a Google Home.
I. Okay.
Like Skyrim on Google Home.
No, no. Maybe once Stadia it actually works.
Fuck. So never.
Yeah, yeah, you get it.
Because they'll just drop it sometime soon, like Google does for all their products that don't immediately take off. Then just throw it.
Yeah, yeah, you get it. You get it.
Maybe,
All right.
maybe Microsoft should buy Stadia.
They don't need to.
Don't think about it. It doesn't don't make a lot of sense.
It's
I will say
too many
I'm
layers
keen
deep.
for when we have the new Xbox and Game Pass, and I can play xCloud on my phone. It'll be pretty sick.
Oh, okay.
Then I could live stream.
Have you ever tried playing Steam games on your phone?
Nah, I've done it on an iPad.
Okay.
And it worked pretty good, and that was just on home Wi-Fi. But I
Yeah.
want to try and do it when I'm away from home. Like if I'm in a hotel, I could stream xCloud
Oh.
games on the hotel Wi-Fi through my Xbox account. That would be sick. Because then suddenly I can play all these games when I'm just like a hotel or like
Yeah.
on a train.
That's the only thing that makes me go, maybe I shouldn't get an Xbox, is because like they've made the game so accessible this time around.
Mm.
You don't
It's somewhat
need
optional.
the actual console.
Yeah. But you do need Game Pass to use it. I think.
Yeah.
You can do.
More at 11.
Yes.
So the next podcast will be in a month's time.
Yeah, this will be the first one that's actually been separated by a schedule.
Mhm.
It'll be November the 1st.
First.
Less than a
That's
month.
correct. Yeah.
And it'll almost be Cyberpunk by then. We'll be like 3 weeks until Cyberpunk.
We'll be deep into Cyberpunk hype.
Yep.
And then the one after that one.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming out. Like I said, we're on Spotify and other streaming platforms. I should really get the link that has all of them. We'll get it for next.
I'm gonna pop the Spotify link in chat, and I'll put it on Twitter and whatnot as well.
I'll flick
There you
you
go. Thanks for the
full one
hydrate.
with it all. And yeah, so if you want to watch it on there, you'll be able to. This one probably be up in a few days. All the others should be there now.
Mhm.
And thank you very much for listening. Maybe you're listening on Spotify already. In which case, you probably don't care about us telling you Spotify.
But maybe you care about us telling you that we're on Apple Music.
Apple Music. And I wonder how it works with Google Play Music, because that's being deleted. I wonder if this goes to YouTube Music.
Listen, Google's being deleted. It'll happen.
Microsoft's buying Google.
Yeah, Microsoft's buying Google, and then Nintendo's buying Microsoft, and then Disney is buying Nintendo.
Yep.
And then Nintendo games will be streamed exclusively on Disney Plus.
Ugh. Disney owns enough. All right.
And on that bombshell, thank you very much for joining us today, and we will see you again for another POGCAST in a month's time.